we have the Twitch drama to go through first and foremost, if you guys can oblige me while we talk about this. So I think we probably don't need to conduct an introduction because I think that Asmongold is going to do an introduction here. Super hyper brief. HasanAbi got in a lot of trouble recently for saying that, God, I watched this clip 2 days ago. He said that streaming 9 hours is like more exhausting than almost any other type of job, and then people called him a retard, and he pretty much is a retard. And then I think, oh my God, look at the downvotes on this video. I think that Asmongold to some degree agreed with Hasan, but I haven't seen the Asmongold take, so I'm not sure exactly, but I see the downvotes on the video. Okay, so let's see what the entire ordeal entails.
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm gonna just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, we gotta talk about this. Millionaire streamer Hasan Piker claims that a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that streaming will. And the funny thing about,
I'm going to give you my take. I have no idea what Asmon's going to say here. Chat, you know. I've been a streamer now full-time for almost 6 years. Prior to being a streamer, I have worked retail in clothing stores. I have worked in food restaurants, dining establishments. I have worked on farms. I worked for a year on goddamn farms doing farm work. I spent about a year cleaning buses. Cleaning city buses. I spent a year cleaning vomit and cum and piss and shit off of city buses in the Portland area. Disgusting. Okay, so I worked at the Drug and Alcohol Recovery Clinic for 2 years, doing piss testing drug addict urine to see if they're doing methamphetamine or heroin, working in a little medical lab. I have had normal, regular jobs prior to becoming a streamer. I think it's fair to say, I think a lot of streamers have not ever had a shitty job. Do you guys think it's important for a young person's character development to have a shitty job? I think it is. I think if you're a 20-year-old person, man or woman, I think having a shitty job and having a dickhead boss and having a customer be rude to you, and like, I think, and maybe you need to go clean the toilets at the end of the day. I think that's important. Really, it is. It humbles you. And I know this is the trope. It builds character. It does build character, and it gives you perspective. It allows you to appreciate the better, adventures you move on to later in life, hopefully. And you can say, wow, man, you know what? I'm pretty fortunate to be in the position that I'm in now because, whatever it was 10 years ago, I was cleaning shit off of, I was cleaning diarrhea shit off of a toilet in a restaurant, or like whatever the fuck it might have been, right, for you. Okay, so that being said, streaming is the hardest job in the world. Streaming is harder than any of that. Streaming is probably harder than being a Navy SEAL. It's probably harder than being a coal miner. It's harder than being working in an African child slave labor lithium mine. It's probably it's harder than that. I'm not sure. Let's play.
This is that this kid goes and he says this to try to fucking throw up a white flag. He's like, no. I'm actually on your side. I agree with them. Bro, quit the fucking capping. Like, this kid is lying. You're lying. What do you mean you agree with his tweet when you preface it by saying millionaire streamer? You really
is he not? Is HasanAbi not a millionaire? He is a millionaire streamer. Do you guys think HasanAbi has had a shitty job in his life? Do you think HasanAbi has cleaned up vomit? Someone else's vomit? I would guess not. To be honest, I'm not sure. Maybe he has, but I would guess not.
Think that we don't you think I haven't spent the last 20 years seeing Fox News do this shit? Seeing CNN do this shit? He definitely is trying to roast the shit out of him. Like, what are we talking about? What a little rat. I can't believe this. It's like this guy goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hasan fans, get a job. But then he...
True. True. True.
Agrees with the tweet. What are you doing?
The only thing this guy did wrong was try to walk it back once he got some heat. Hating Hasan is awesome. Hating Hasan is the proper take. It's based. True. The only problem this guy did is he pussied out and he walked it back.
I goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hasan fans, get a job. But then he agrees with the tweet. What are you doing? What a little rat. This guy farms hate on Hasan. He gets 15 people from Hasan's chat saying, I don't agree with you. You took it out of context. And then he's got to make a follow-up tweet about it. Like, oh no, stop bullying me. He changed his mind because Destiny said he agrees with Hasan. TC Brady is in Destiny's Discord.
Okay.
It's good to know that it wasn't really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hasan says. And this is the clip that's taken apparently out of context. And we'll watch the full context in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired. But a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
True. God, Hasan, you're so right. You're so right. God, and you're such a silly Billy. God, you're such a silly Billy. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yes.
So that's the original clip. And there's apparently there's a clip here. It's a 2-minute clip. And so this is him explaining what actually was said.
Okay.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me. But I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I'm the same one.
I mean, okay, so let me break this down. Yeah, streaming, I mean, you talk for 9 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is. It's socially draining, no doubt. Is it the only job that's like that? Is it just like so socially draining that it's incomparable to other jobs? No, absolutely, of course not. What about being a teacher? What about being a police officer? What about working in like he mentioned someone being an accountant. If you're an accountant, you're still you're responding to emails all day. You're talking to people all day. You're in and out of meetings. It's still draining. Okay. If you're working in a fucking in a clinic having patients come in, that was fucking draining. I was talking to people. There's a let me put it this way. There's a reason why anyone that has the ability to make money streaming chooses to be a streamer rather than some other job, because being a streamer is like more accommodating / easier / cozier / whatever. Yeah, like chat. If you had the option to make $100,000 being a streamer or $100,000 being like literally anything else, I think most people probably pick being a streamer. At least you guys, right? You guys are kind of clued into video game stuff. You probably choose to be a streamer, right? Yeah, and anyone that is a streamer, this is the problem I have with a lot of streamers. They seem to forget how I'm not going to say lucky. Most certainly there is a certain amount of luck to it. But there's more than luck. I think I'll use the word fortunate or blessed or whatever. A lot of streamers forget really how fortunate they are. It is a lot worse for a lot of people. That is undeniable.
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited.
Here's the deal. If you're a streamer and there's some dickhead in your chat whose only purpose is to fuck with you and make you annoyed, to annoy you, as the streamer, you have complete authority to ban them and move on. You don't even have to talk to them. If you see it, you just permaban them. If you're working in sales, or if you're working in a retail place or a restaurant or like literally anywhere, if you have a dickhead customer, guess what? They're right. The customer's always right, and you've got to deal with them. You've got to navigate that. You can't just banned, permaban, next one, permaban. Thanks for the Twitch Prime, permaban. You can't do that. You have to actually. Yeah. Yep, you're right. Okay, I'll make sure. Yeah, it seems like that hamburger is a little bit undercooked. Yeah, I'll go tell the chef. That. And it's like, you have to grit your teeth and fucking get through this shitty situation, right? On Twitch, you're dead. Mods, kill him. Next one, right?
Than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery, and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight.
Man. I wonder if he has ever actually gone back and watched one of his own streams. Like, or like any streamer. Let's say you have an 8-hour stream. On average, I'm not going to talk HasanAbi specifically. I'm going to talk on average streamers on Twitch. What percent of that 8 hours do you think they are actively talking versus sitting there kind of silently playing the game or maybe reacting to a YouTube video and not saying anything? Like what percent of that 8 hours is actively blah 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 talking? Like maybe 20%. I think I talk a lot. I think I talk way more than most Twitch streamers, and I would put myself at probably 25%, maybe 30%. I think there's a lot of just quiet time, right? Versus a presentation. You're up in front of the class or in front of your boss, and you have to have a carefully crafted PowerPoint presentation or a 10-minute monologue, and like, I don't know. It's a very different dynamic.
It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch. Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh?
Asmongold, you can ban that guy. You don't even have to read it. You can just silently ban him and move on. If you have a department manager that's out to get you and fucking hates you, and by the way, who here has had a job that had a coworker or maybe a customer that came in all the time, or a boss or a higher up that just fucking hates you, and they go out of their way to make your life miserable? I've had those in the past, and guess what? You can't do anything about it. You just have to go to work every day and fucking deal with it. As a Twitch streamer, once again, ban them and move on. Ban them, move on. In fact, oftentimes you can just you can just delegate the banning of those people to moderators. You don't even have to do it yourself. You can just, hey, moderators, in the future, anyone that says anything bad about me, ban them. I want you to ban them so fast, I don't even want to be able to read it. You just do that. You don't even have to do it yourself. You have someone else do it. Okay? What are you talking about?
We gotta remember this in your performance review. You fat fuck. Stupid ass bitch.
Uh-huh.
Ever again.
So people are getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of? He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's
not the extent of the take. The full take is that there are none, and then he kind of walked it back. He said, initially he said there are no jobs that are as exhausting socially or mentally as streaming, which is retarded. And then he kind of walks it back and says, okay, maybe there are some if you're in like the service industry. Here's sort of the axiomatic issue here. No one wants to hear a multimillionaire streamer talk about how hard their job is. Can we just be honest here? This guy makes 100 times whatever the fuck you make, whatever the fuck I make, and no one wants to hear about how hard his life is. That's just no one fucking cares. No one cares. Sorry.
You really think that's not true? I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you, that's not socially draining. This is totally understandable. And he's not comparing it to every other job. He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take isn't broad enough. It is. He explained it pretty clearly. The clip out of context was posted 30 minutes after he said that. Instantly on Reddit, it blew up calling him a dumbass, which just reinforces his argument. Well, yeah, it's definitely understandable. Exactly. Just think nobody knows what's really socially draining. Well, not saying it isn't, but it's not as bad as others. I think that, so streaming as, a job is extremely socially draining. It is.
I think this is also probably a pretty subjective statement because I think it depends on the individual, on the individual's social battery, right? If you're more of an introverted person and you kind of put on the show for 8 hours and then you clock off, you say, oh man, I'm drained. If you're more of an introverted type of guy, and I would say that I'm in that category. You guys know I'm not such a social guy. Probably that's the case for Asmongold as well. You know, you're probably kind of socially tapped out. You're not looking to go hang out with your friends later that evening after a 9-hour stream. I think other people, it's not really a concern. So I think the whole social drain, social battery type of discussion is totally on an individual level. Stargazing TV, thank you. I appreciate that, Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Finally, someone recognizes that I'm out here working super hard and working harder than anyone else on the entire planet. Thank you very much.
That's why there's a weird catch-22 where a lot of streamers are introverted, but being a streamer requires you to do a lot of things that extroverts want you to do. So, in order to be good at something, you have to be one way, and in order to cope with it, the success of being good at it, you have to be another way. And so that's what it is. Hasan's basically explaining that in a more, direct way, you could say, a simpler way, and he's getting shit on.
I think properly so, rightfully so. I'm just going to be blunt. Any job, any real job, real life, normal job that you would consider to be socially draining is more socially draining than streaming. Okay? If you're a teacher, if you're a cop, if you work in retail at a clothing store, if you work at a restaurant, it's more socially draining. Sorry, that's the fucking truth. You've got dickhead customers, you can't do anything about it. You got a dickhead boss, you can't do anything about it. You're talking to those people all day, you can't do anything about it. On Twitch, guess what? If you're having a shitty day and you let's say I want to go live for 8 hours and I'm getting tilted and my chat is all right, guys, I know it's been 3.5 hours. I'm having a bad day. I'll be back tomorrow. Later, guys. You can't do that at the restaurant. You can't do that at the fucking, if you're a middle school teacher. You can't do that, okay? First off, again, oh, I gotta go. I'm so mad. Bah! You can't do that. You can't just leave. You have to stick it out until your shift is done, until the day's over. Second off, if you have someone that is, if you identify that someone is in your Twitch chat only and solely to fucking annoy you, you just ban them and move on. You get on with the show. You get on with the broadcast. If you're a teacher and you've got a dickhead student, you got to deal with them. If you're a cop, you've got to deal with the fucking everyone is a dickhead. Probably. It's like if you work at a restaurant, you have the dickhead customer, you have a dickhead boss, you have the whatever. You just have to deal with it. As a streamer, you have the luxury of getting rid of those people and also just leaving entirely if you don't like it.
But a lot of people think they're introverted whenever they're actually extroverts. Well, I don't know about that.
That's totally true. It is super quirky and fashionable to be an introvert. Yeah, I'm a bit more of an introvert. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Okay? You're not an introvert until you've pissed in a jug and pooped in a sock while playing World of Warcraft. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay?
You start the stream.
I don't want to hear it.
Went right into this. Yeah, because I usually spend the first hour of my stream talking about nothing, and like then I don't like play video games until like it's midnight, or like 5 hours into the stream. I didn't do anything. Like we gotta get this shit done. Like there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't have time to fucking sit around and talk about like, oh, I went live late today because my back hurt. Oh my god. We really need to hear about this again? Who the fuck cares? So yeah. Like, we're not going to get into that again. Having streaming as a job's exhausting situation. Yeah, of course it is,
Grexius.
right?
Yo, dude.
Hasan is right. People are just reactionary. They absolutely are. Someone actually said real job. What does that mean? A real job is a job that you have. Bullshit jobs are the ones that other people have. It's just that simple. It's quite trendy and quite frankly easy to shit on Hasan. That's the crux of it all. Well,
yeah, this is a stipulation I'll make. I don't know if you guys agree. The whole like the terminology of real job, the idea, and this is a common idea, is that streaming is not a real job. I'm not sure how. I don't know. How do you define real job? I would define real job anything that's paying your bills, like anything that you're doing that's making money and you can support yourself and support your family, I guess. Yeah, are you paying taxes? Yeah. So if that is how you define real job, I'm not sure that it's any less real than anything else. OnlyFans, if you're making money and paying your bills, sure you can consider OnlyFans a real job. I just think it should be illegal. I think it should be federally illegal. In the same way, if you're a drug dealer, if you're selling heroin, if you're paying for your bills and paying your mortgage with your heroin dealings. I guess it's a real job. Yeah, sure. Should it be legal? No, it shouldn't. No, it should not. So, I don't know. There's a difference there, I guess.
Well, hey, if it's so easy to shit on him, then why are you making up fake reasons to do it? If he's got so many bad takes and he says all this stuff that's wrong, then why not focus on that rather than taking something that's totally understandable and then turning it into something that it's not? He makes thousands of dollars a day. Him making takes, trying to relate to normal working people is fucking stupid. Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day. So, like, I don't really understand, like, what your point is. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean?
I think the hypocrisy of Hasan is that he espouses communistic wealth redistributive beliefs, political philosophy, but then is also actively engaging in what I would call one of the most free market capitalistically inclined jobs there is. I mean, he's self-employed and he's his own boss, and he's like a private contractor. I mean, if you're a streamer, you are private. And so he is I guess reaping the rewards of his capitalistic endeavors, and also I guess also born rich, I'm not sure, and then also preaching communistic philosophy, political philosophy. To be fair to Hasan, I'm not sure to what degree he is redistributing his wealth. I don't know. Maybe privately in his private life, he does donate a lot of money charitably, and he donates his own money. Okay. To be clear, his own money. Hosting charity fundraisers where he's getting credit for fundraising other people's money and then donating that's very different than going into your own bank account and donating money out of your own. And so I don't know, maybe he's doing that. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe he is. And if he does, I give him credit for that.
It's a stupid comparison. Yeah, like what? Like, you think streamer is the only job that you can make a lot of money in? I have tons of friends that make tons of money. And a lot of them aren't streamers.
I got a friend. He smokes weed all day, and he manages a Wendy's, and he makes $175,000 a year. And all he does is smoke weed, and he's a Wendy's manager.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, what the fuck? No. It's chatter can't think past two. Exactly. They're not normal anymore. Well, I think that is normal as in, like, they don't work in entertainment. right? They don't work in entertainment. Why do people assume that money solves all your issues and doesn't drain you? Well, hey, Kanye West said it. He said that there. I was gonna make a joke.
What did Kanye West say? Huh? What did he say?
But I figured, actually, you know what? We'll give that another 6 months before I make those jokes. He said, having money isn't everything, but not having it is.
Oh.
I think that's really the truth, right? That's it. So, like, if you don't have money, that's everything in your life. If you do have money, you realize that there are other problems in life that are...
That's true. I think there's probably like a cap on money and how happy it will make you, or if not a cap, there's like a soft cap. I don't know if there's a hard cap, but there's, after a certain yearly income, there's huge DR, diminishing returns on the degree to which further yearly income will make you happy, right? And so to the Kanye West point, we need to talk. No, I'm kidding. Never mind. Not that Kanye West point. To the Kanye West point at hand that we're talking about in this video, not any of his other points, is that, you know, like if you're making $20,000 a year, you're at poverty line. If you have a flat tire, or if someone breaks your window in your apartment, or, you know, if you lose your phone, you have to go buy a new cell phone, or whatever. Like if you need a new pair of shoes, like that can like fuck your month. Right? If you have to spend $200 on fixing a window or getting a new pair of shoes or whatever, fixing a flat tire, that can like catastrophically destroy your entire month, maybe your entire year. It's so problematic, right? Whereas if you make $120,000, $150,000, if you have a flat tire, it's like, it's annoying, but I'll just get a new tire, fuck it. Right? If you have a shattered window, I'll just fix my window, fuck. Yeah, it's annoying. I gotta spend $300. But I'll just go fix it, right? Whereas, you know, like I said, if you have $20,000 yearly income, a flat tire, that's like fucking crippling. You can't deal with that. You've got no money in the bank, right? It's fucked. And so I think maybe having a higher income, like it doesn't maybe it doesn't increase your happiness. It minimizes the degree to which random RNG fucked up life events can completely fuck your life up. Do you think that's true? That's kind of, and I've been on both ends of that spectrum. Like that's my experience, at least.
Are also important. But if you don't have that, money is going to mean more to you than almost anything else. So yeah, streamer doesn't make a lot of money. When you actually normalize the salary, engineers, doctors, people in trades make median more than a streamer. Streaming is extremely top heavy. Well, of course it is. And there are a lot of people that are grinding away, and they stream 8 hours a day, and they get, let's say, 300 viewers, 500 viewers. They make $100,000 a year. Let's be very, very optimistic here. They make $100,000 a year, and like, I'll be real. If somebody was making that much money, and you know, like, it was like, is this really a good idea for you to do this? Probably not. $100,000 is still a lot.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is like super out of touch. I have to super disagree here. He's saying it's not worth it to stream 8 hours a day and make $100,000 a year from Twitch. That is really, really out of touch. I want to show you guys something real fast. The median U.S. income is $31,000. This is as of 2019. That's the most recent data. Median individual income is $31,000. Okay, this is across the entire country. So if we're gonna say that streaming 8 hours a day, let's say you do it 7 days a week. Let's say you're working overtime. Okay, 7 days a week, 8 hours a day playing video games on Twitch, and you're making $100 grand, and he says it's not worth it. That is super fucking worth it. Super duper omega triple with a cherry on top, worth it.
It is a lot, but whenever you think about the fact that streaming is just so transient, like, for example, you can get banned. Oh, well, now you're banned. Now what? Like, all of your job experience, everything that you did, like, it's completely different. Like, you're...
Okay, you can get fired from a real job. Now, to be fair, if you get fired from a real job, at least you still have maybe a work history on your resume. Maybe you have whatever credentials you pursued to get that job in the first place, a degree, a certificate, whatever. Okay. Maybe even though you got fired or your company went out of business, maybe you still have some sort of reference to put on your resume. You can also get unemployment. So this is my personal take to streaming. I think that every single streamer should not expect to be streaming permanently. If you're expecting to be streaming for the next 40 years and you're going to be making, let's say you make $100,000 this year on Twitch. If you expect to make $100,000 for the next 20 years from Twitch or streaming, you're living in a fantasy land. You're pie in the sky fantasy land. So the smartest thing you can do, maybe some of them will, right? But most not. So if you're a streamer whose maybe career is more volatile as a result of being smaller, or maybe you're more controversial, meaning you're more at risk of getting banned, I guess. Who knows? I don't know anyone like that, though. You need to really be as smart with your income as you possibly can be, right? You need to not be blowing your money on, Bugattis and Uber Eats and extravagant lifestyles. You need to really be making good and proper investments and spending your money wisely to try to set yourself up. Ride that wave for as long as you can, streamers. And when that wave comes crashing down, and it probably will, it almost most certainly will, try to position yourself in the best place possibly and be smart with your income. That's the advice I have to streamers.
You have like a 3-year gap in employment. You have like this online presence that, creates a context in which people see you. So yeah, you can get fired. Exactly. No, yeah, you definitely can get fired. But the difference is that like streaming, there are jobs that exist in entertainment that streaming helps you understand and learn. That's definitely true. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people, and I think in most traditional jobs, those people don't really have the same opportunities. It's like, for example, if you work as an accountant and you get fired from one place, it's not going to be as hard to get another job as an accountant. Versus if you work on Twitch and you stream on Twitch, you get banned on Twitch, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to transition over to YouTube or Kick. That's my point, right? There's negative externalities if a streamer wants to get a real job. Yeah, of course. And so
this is most certainly true. Like, okay, so to some degree, let's say I was permanently banned off of every single platform. Streaming is not an option. YouTubing is not an option. If I want to make money, I've got to get a normal job. I've got 6 years where I don't have anything to put on a resume. Like, okay, I could put, online influencer. I could put Twitch streamer for 6 years, right? Does that mean a whole lot to future employers? Now, I think I would probably be fine. I've got a degree. I've got prior work history. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I would. It would be tough. I think you'd have to kind of lie a little bit if you're a streamer looking to get a real job. A real job. I think you'd have to lie. You'd have to say online. You know what I would do? Like I would put down like online, marketing expert or online, analytics expert or something like that. Yeah, something like that. You kind of fudge it a little bit, something like that.
But it's really not it's not that complicated. But anyway, yeah. So Hasan said this today, and naturally everybody is congratulating themselves about. Here's the dumbass clip. Hasan being welcomed into the emo community. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, he did the emo. I saw that with that Johnny guy. I looked at that earlier. And so there's a lot of people. Streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is this guy? Does he stream?
This is obviously true. This is a little bit of a retarded take. Because if it was just sit down, go live on Twitch, the money comes rolling in, then why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And you. Why doesn't everyone just do that, right? There is a little bit more to it than that. I think that probably the most difficult part of being a streamer is, how can I explain this? I'm going to explain this in a very poetic way. Being a streamer, I think you are always combating this downward entropy, this entropic force, stealing away the energy and the life force of your stream or of your YouTube channel, right? If you are not always sort of coming up with new ideas or working to stay relevant, or you need to catch people's attention. I need to keep you engaged and tuning in, and you have to keep on coming up with new ideas or hopping onto the new hype train or whatever. You need to always be, and you know, if you're not doing that, then you guys are going to lose interest and people are going to stop tuning in. And so there's always people on the way out, and you have to either be bringing new people in somehow or convincing those old people that are maybe losing interest, hey, we're still here, we're doing something exciting, come back, right? And so there's this like heat death of your stream. You're always losing it, and it's like trying to, you've got a barrel full of water and it has like 10,000 holes, and you're like trying to always plug holes and keep that water, and then you have a bucket and you're trying to put the water back in top of it. Okay, that's kind of what it feels like sometimes being a streamer. And so maybe that is one of the hardest parts, in my opinion, of being a streamer is remaining. It's the relevance. It's keep maintaining the relevance, right? But you know, this guy's saying, this is just not a good take.
And so there's a lot of people. Streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is this guy? Does he stream? Yeah, 400 viewers. Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard. Hopefully now he understands. I understand, obviously, there's a lot of people. Bad take. No, isn't 400 viewers good?
That is true.
Oh, it's definitely good. But you're not going to go and tell somebody who's one of the top streamers on the entire platform that it's easy. Do you really think that Hasan's experience and this random's experience is going to be the same streaming? That's insane. Of course 400 viewers is good. But don't go talk to somebody who gets 20,000 regularly and act like you're on the same level, because you're not. All streamers have some kind of cope. Well, what's the cope here? I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding this. You say people disagree.
Now, I do think this guy Goblin's take is retarded. I just kind of explained why. That being said, this notion that you can't critique a streamer unless you are also a streamer, in this case unless you're a 20,000 viewer streamer, you can't talk about or critique 20,000 viewer streamers. I think that notion is a little bit far-fetched. I'm not so sure about that. Though I do think this guy's take is uniquely retarded.
Disagree with his take on the whole job thing, made up fake reason to shit on him for it. When you added a word to his take socially, it does a lot of heavy lifting, unless I miss some context, kind of disingenuous. Well, he's talking about socially. Like, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what he's saying. So, for example, like, if I listen to the clip, right? Like, you just listen to the first few seconds of the clip.
No. Social battery-wise, unless you're in
So,
If Hasan had just not compared streaming to any other job, if he had just said, hey, guys, I'm more of an introverted guy, and for me, doing a 9-hour stream on Twitch is really socially draining. I think people, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But that's not the approach he took. He compared streaming to other jobs, and then, of course, people are going to get mad about that.
I'm not using the word. I listened to the clip. That's all. It's not hard. I think most people made up their mind on something like this before they listened to it. So whenever they have to hear context that makes their original assumption wrong, they're getting mad at me. That's the problem. Exactly. It's like a supermodel saying they have a harder job than a catalog model. Well, I'm not really sure. Hasan's an artist. His father famous for being Young Turks. Everybody always has their opinion about Hasan. And I understand that you might not like things that Hasan has said on his stream. There are things that he might have said that have upset you, that have made you mad, that you don't like. Why not focus on the real ones? Why are you inventing things that didn't happen?
I hate that he's a communist. That's why I hate the guy. I think communism is morally reprehensible, and I hate that he is propagating communistic ideas to thousands of people. That's why I hate Hasan. I think this is not some ridiculous, he is a self-ascribed communist. And I also remember, this is 2020. I remember very clearly he was supporting the Antifa protests, the very peaceful protests in the Summer of Love in 2020. He was supporting Antifa, and he was self-ascribing himself as a communist. I have a problem with that. And so maybe he has changed his beliefs. Maybe he's changed his opinion. But I very clearly remember, and this is 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. It's 3.5 years ago. Maybe he has changed his opinion, but I very, very, very clearly remember him doing these things. Maybe he's moved. Maybe he's changed his belief. I'm not sure.
And then getting mad about them. It makes you look stupid. If you have all of these problems with somebody, then it doesn't seem very legitimate whenever you have to make up new problems that don't actually exist. That's what my opinion is. They're soft, yes. The guys are making, what's this here? A career, these guys making a career of being bitter. Isn't that pathetic? Oh yeah, absolutely. The area of conversation with politics is more draining than some other types of streaming? Oh yeah. Hasan didn't start from zero.
That's probably true.
Who cares if he did? Very few people start really from zero. Most people have advantages, and I'll tell you one thing. If you're able to be talking in this chat, you didn't start from zero either. There's people in the world that don't have an internet connection, and you do. But somehow you're going to be complaining about how you can't fix your life, and those people who don't have an internet connection are working to get one. So you can complain and cry about...
This is just people in chat giving retarded takes and then responding to retarded takes, and none of this has any relevance to the original conversation. Because what he's saying here is true. Like, this is a true point, but it's also like, this has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about.
Oh, Hasan got in. He's a Young Turks. His uncle worked there. And all these things can be true. But the reality is that all of us have different degrees of privilege. That's why we're here. Do you really think that somebody without privilege, without any privilege, is going to be sitting at 9 p.m. watching a video game stream?
My privilege is earned privilege. My ancestors paid with their blood for my privilege. I'm proud. I'm proud of my privilege because it has been earned time and time and time again by my great-great-grandfather, his great-grandfather, etc., all the way back to 1635 when my blood first stepped foot on this continent, okay? My privilege is an earned privilege, and I fucking love it. And I will never surrender my privilege. I hope my privilege extends forever, okay? That's what I hope. I will never give it up, and I'm proud. I love it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Come on. What are you thinking? Being alive is a privilege. Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, people can't control, this is the other thing. People can't control the circumstances that they're born under. Whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female.
You know what you can do? You can't control the circumstances under which you are born, but you can control the circumstances under which your children are born. And that is a very, very noble goal. You absolutely should seek to do that. You want to give them the best circumstances possible.
Gay, not gay.
Gay.
Straight, I guess you could say. Whether they're poor, whether they're rich, whether they're short, whether they're tall. So I find it to be odd that we all agree that it's generally not a good idea to make fun of people for things that they can't control, but somehow people have no problem demonizing a person because they had advantages that they also couldn't control either.
So I think the problem with Hasan specifically is that he was born to a wealthy family, but is also propagating communistic wealth redistributive political ideologies whilst also sort of just collecting and hoarding wealth through a very capitalistically inclined means. Like no one is mad at Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump, the children of Donald Trump, the president. No one's mad at them if they came out and said, yeah, my dad was rich and I'm gonna be rich too, and my kids are gonna be rich and we're gonna keep on making money moves. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, we love capitalism. Yeah, and we're gonna make businesses and we're gonna hire people, and that's the whole like no one would be mad at them for doing that. Like, but if they you know, if you have a billionaire dad and you're like, yeah, we need to promote communism, I think people are like, hold up, this is a little bit hypocritical, right? So that's the take. This is super mega giga downvoted. Millionaire streamers pretending to not be out of touch with reality is my favorite genre of clip. The way he calls streamers that disagreed with him as randoms who aren't as popular as him, therefore their experience is invalidated. What a fucking joke. A real job won't suck the soul out of you. Holy fucking L. These dudes just don't get it. They're insulting 99% of their audience and are surprised when they receive criticism. Insane. Guy decides to come into work and complain about the difficulty of his job after deciding to take the day off. This is the real disconnect here. One of Baldy's worst takes ever. Most normal jobs have you interacting with people 8+ hours a day, and unlike streaming, you don't get to mute and ban those people as you see fit. A real job won't suck the soul out. Yeah, this is the quote. That's the quote. That's the takeaway quote. And it was Hasan that said this, not Asmongold, by the way. That's the quote. Can you imagine you're like working at a restaurant and you have a shitty boss and a shitty customer, and the shitty customer comes up and they're like, oh, I ordered no pickles and this has no pickles, but I think I taste pickle juice on here. Was the tomato in the kitchen maybe sitting next to the pickles? Because I know I ordered no pickles, and by the way, there's no pickles, but I think I just taste a twinge of pickle. Banned. That's a perma-ban. Ban. You can't do that. Or your boss comes out and your boss is giving you shit. Hey, I heard from a customer that there's pickle juice on the burger, and I know there's no pickles. I know they ordered no pickles, but banned.